On this particular afternoon, Ada, a 12-year-old girl, was alone on the farm, bent over. Tears began to fall from her eyes, dropping onto the dry soil. "God, please," she whispered, "I am tired. My mother is tired. When will our life change?" Suddenly, Ada saw something glowing near a big yam heap. It was a magic stick. That evening, the miracles began. Ada went to the kitchen to check the old pot of gari. Usually, it was almost empty. But when she pointed the stick, it was filled to the brim. The small basket that had only one shriveled onion was now overflowing with big, red tomatoes and fresh pepper. Outside, she saw her mother sitting on the floor, looking sad because she hadn't sowed any corn. "Mama, don't worry," Ada said, feeling a strange confidence. She performed her magic. Her mother was overjoyed and curious at the same time. Days turned into weeks, and the Ada luck became the talk of the village. The small farm where Ada once cried became a fertile land in Umudike. The yams grew so big that it took 2 men to carry one. One morning, Ada's dad woke up one morning and stood on his feet. The pain in his broke leg was gone. He walked around the compound, shouting for joy. With the money they made from their bountiful harvest, Ada's parents finally bought her a brand new school uniform and bright white socks. Ada never told anyone about the little friend in her pocket. The village people asked, "Ada, what is your secret?" She would only smile and say, "Hard work and a little bit of magic." Ada was no longer the poor girl weeding the grass with tears in her eyes. She was now a girl of hope, carrying a heart full of gratitude, and a tiny, magical secret that had turned her family's sorrow into a song. As the wealth of Ada's family grew, so did the whispers in the village of Umudike. People noticed that even when there was no rain, Ada's father's farm stayed green. They noticed that Ada's mother always had the freshest fish and the finest wrappers. But the person who noticed the most was Chief Okoro, the ruler of the village. He was a man who loved power and money more than anything else. Chief Okoro sat on his carved wooden throne, frowning. "How can a small girl like Ada become richer than me, the ease of the land?" he grumbled to his guards. "There must be a secret. Maybe she has stolen a powerful charm, or maybe she is hiding gold." The chief sent his most cunning servant, a man named Nu, to spy on Ada. For 3 days, Nu hid behind palm trees and peeked through the cracks of Ada's house. One evening, he saw Ada sitting by her window. She was talking to a wooden stick. He heard her say, "Thank you, my friend, for the harvest today. You are the light of our home." Nu ran back to the palace. "My chief," he panted. "It is not gold. It is a shiny magic stick." The next morning, the village crier beat his metal gong, gong. 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 "Listen, people of Umudike." The chief summons Ada and her parents to the palace immediately. Ada's heart hammered against her ribs like a trapped bird. She knew this was about her secret. She quickly grabbed the stick, who had now become very fond of her, and whispered, "Please stay calm. The chief is a greedy man." When they arrived at the palace, the chief did not offer them seats or palm wine. He stood up and pointed his staff at Ada. "Ada," he roared. "The spirits tell me you are hiding something that belongs to this village. You have a magical stick in your pocket. Give it to me, or your family will be banished from this land." Ada's mother began to cry, and her father trembled. Ada stood tall, though her legs were shaking. She said, "My family was very poor. My father had a broken leg that wouldn't heal, and my mother spent her days trying to sell a few pieces of roasted corn by the roadside. My chief, this is my friend. I found it when I was crying in the farm. It is not a tool to be owned. It all happened when I wanted to scream and run, but my legs felt like lead." The stick said, "Do not be afraid, Ada. I have seen your tears, and I have heard your prayers. From today, I will be by your side. There will be no more suffering in your family." I could not believe it. I grabbed the stick. "I must hide you," I whispered, worried that the village hunters or greedy neighbors might see it. Chief Okoro didn't listen. He stepped down from his throne and reached out his heavy, greedy hand to grab Ada's pocket. Suddenly, the pocket began to glow with a light so bright that everyone in the palace had to cover their eyes. The shiny stick grew until it was the size of an Iroko tree. Chief Okoro, the stick voice boomed, sounding like thunder over the hills. I go only where there is a pure heart. I saw Ada's tears of hard work, but I see only the darkness of greed in your soul. The chief fell to his knees, trembling. Please. I was only curious. The stick turned to the villagers who had gathered. This girl's family is blessed because they shared their wealth. They gave food to the hungry and clothes to the naked. But you, chief, wanted it all for yourself. The stick then shrunk back to its small size. To the chief's surprise, the stick did not leave the village. The chief became poor instantly. Instead, he told the chief that he would only regain his riches if he spent a whole year working on the farms with the common people, learning the value of sweat and kindness. From that day on, nobody tried to steal Ada's secret again. The chief became a humbler man, often seen weeding the fields alongside the villagers. Ada continued to go to school, her magical friend who had turned her tears into a legacy of light.